All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Fast and Slow podcast. This is episode number 10. We
10.
made it to 10. Isn't that crazy? Uh,
That's exciting. That's a big number.
I know I was editing number 9 today, and I was like, oh shit, we're recording tonight and we're going to be on 10. So,
I,
no, it's
I
fun.
don't want I didn't want to say anything about 10, but I had heard once that if you 10 is a big milestone in podcast terms.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing this for four months now or something like that, maybe five. So, I think you know, I had to Google this today because I couldn't remember the word, but breaking into the fourth wall and bringing our audience into these podcasts is something I think, as we start to grow the thing, talking to the audience as well as to each other, I think is going to be important. But
Yeah.
yeah, and
All
as we get,
two of our listeners. Three.
yeah, I know my two friends,
My wife and your wife.
oh yeah, right. My wife doesn't listen to this.
Oh, oh no.
My friends Billy and Matt, I know for certain listen to the show. And so we'll see. This will be the feedback loop if they hear this and
Yeah.
let me know about the mention. But
I've already
no,
gotten some feedback, but it was from a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old. So
nice. Was it critical?
no, it was positive.
Okay.
Good feedback. I couldn't use
Solid.
much of it, but it was positive reinforcement.
Solid. Solid. Yeah, so for those listening, Nate and I have been talking about, we talked about it last episode, the evolution just in 9 to 10 episodes. We're trying to find a rhythm, and I think moving forward, we'll kind of keep to a typical pace, and that pace can be something basically as a intro for 5 to 10 minutes, what we've been working on, uh, and really not trying to spend any more time than that, and then having a picked long form topic to discuss, whether that be a project that we are having trouble with or some sort of daydream, which is what we're going to talk about today. I'll tease that a bit. But hopefully it helps with retention and the flow, if you will. And so I think we'll try it out this episode and listen for the 7-year-old and the 5-year-old's feedback.
They liked it.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
kids, by the way.
of course, of course.
My kids.
Kids. So I guess I'll get started on kind of what's going on here. I think last
Yeah, let's hear
episode
it.
we were watching me install the steering column, which was awesome. Got it put in, dude. The thing, I mean, my only gripe was that I talked about how you had to like lock it into place and get it clocked.
Yeah.
Well, trying to drill the hole on the shaft, it was just dancing around, and I didn't quite get it where I wanted to get it. So the yellow marker is like at the 11 o'clock. And so the way to fix that is it's splined at the steering box. So you can pull
Mm,
that off, rotate it however many splines to get it straight. Uh,
right.
we'll see if I do that. I don't know. It's like you have to take everything back off and
Yeah, but
turn it.
that's gonna bother you.
It will. It will. Those are St. Louis Nick
Yeah.
problems,
Oh yeah, for
not
now, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It's it's functioning. Check on to make it perfect later.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I got to the event on Sunday and I ran three runs, broke for lunch and got back in the car, turned it on, and the alternator wasn't charging.
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah, dude, I was so pissed. So I packed it up and I broke a cardinal rule of autocross and I left. I made sure it was cool to leave.
Oh, oh.
Uh, but
Is that a faux pas?
I felt like it. I felt dirty leaving. I was like, I, I could stay. I just didn't want to get in a situation where like I was having trouble getting it off the trailer late, and yeah, I wanted to give myself time to troubleshoot to get it
Yeah.
off the trailer and whatnot. But uh, either way, got it back, started brainstorming, and turns out there's two power wires that go into the ignition cylinder on the
Mhm.
old what you call it, steering column, and one powers the stock fuse panel, and the other is like another key on 12 volts. Well, I didn't wire up the fuse panel wire with 12 volts, and that's where I had my exciter wire running from. So
Oh.
my exciter wire and electric choke, because that's the circuit I decided to splice into,
Hmm.
uh, was not working. I didn't notice that until like 2 days afterwards. Um, so easy fix, like literally transferred everything over to my custom. Like I have a fuse box on the passenger side that I run
Hmm.
everything off of. So it works now, and good to go.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah,
We said it was a new alternator, right?
yeah. And so I I went as far as to taking the alternator back to AutoZone, and they warranted it. So
Oh,
now I
okay.
have a brand new alternator uh, that was not broken before. So it works out.
I mean, that's a bummer that it shortened your weekend, but at least, it wasn't dollar bills or anything like that. It was just an oopsie.
Yep. Yeah, and I'll eat some crow just from being an idiot and whatever. Uh, but I was talking to Sarah and she was like, I don't understand why you said this is your last event. Like we have nothing going on the weekend of the next event. And I'm like, well, it's like a week before we move. She's like,
Yeah,
you
you're
should,
like, I just kind of self-assigned that as
yeah.
a no-fly
Uh,
zone, but
but she was like, you should go do it. And I was like,
all pass. Let's
I guess
go.
so.
Twist my arm.
Yeah, so I'll have one more event. I think it's August 13th or whatever that Sunday is. Um, but yeah, it's just great. Like it drives like a new car. It's so tight.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got the benefit and everything.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks. But
That's
yeah, I
one that
don't
I might have hesitated on. Like, I get that there's plenty of slop in that linkage and everything, but it probably would have taken me a while to convince myself to redo a new steering column and all that.
yeah, it's funny, I was cleaning out the garage and I found some of the parts this weekend that I would have needed to put the old steering column back together. So whatever, not a big deal. But uh yeah, I've read a bunch of forums and everybody's like that rag joint is a massive form of just slop.
Slop.
So so yeah, I was surprised at how easy it was to put together, but
To do.
yeah. So yeah, that's about it. I don't plan on doing any more projects to the car before I leave. So I don't know.
Cool.
It's
Now
just
you just
running great.
gotta relax and have fun in your last event and
Yep.
try and
Get
finish
this.
it. The
That's
event,
right.
that is.
Yeah, let's have 6 runs, not three. So
Nice.
yeah. So man, what's up with you? What have you done in the past
Um,
3 weeks?
Honestly, I'll show you, but it's not much for good reason as always. I guess one of the big things shop wise, so I don't know if you can see, there's the English
Yep.
wheel. I went ahead and got the stand for it. So now it's on casters.
Sweet.
And my plan was to always put it on the bench, but I've got the welder, the bottle underneath. This English wheel's like, I bet just the English wheel alone is probably approaching 100 pounds.
Hmm.
And then, so it's like the bench, all of a sudden, I'm worried. I used like, I think the tubing's like 16th inch wall. Like it's a strong bench, but I got a like 125 cubic foot bottle, the welder, and that. I was like, it's going to get really tippy. That's a
Yeah,
lot of weight. But so, yeah, English wheels now on wheels and on a stand. And then the pedal
that's
car,
nice.
I've made some progress. So I haven't finished the steering linkage like I wanted to, but a lot of the other mechanicals are done. I got the steering column in, and you can kind of see the
Hmm.
arm is there. I got some heim joints in place. I got the knuckles ready to
Sweet.
go, ready to make the connection here for the linkage.
Hmm.
And then I also got the rear axle in place and tacked where I like it, and got some bearings ready to go.
Oh, that's cool.
So it'll be chain driven, but from afar now, it looks like a little baby go kart or the frame of a
Yeah.
go kart.
What keeps the axle from going laterally?
There's little set screws on the bearing.
Oh, okay. I
But
gotcha.
aside from that, not much.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he doesn't see too many lateral G's.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
That's funny.
other than that, it's good. I've got a bunch of the panels underneath the bug too, so those have been teasing me. I'm ready to start getting those
Mm,
in place and around the mechanicals,
yeah.
the axles and everything. Just need little cutouts and then we'll be ready to go. But I wanted to get that done because the I spend too much of my own energy and time on perfecting the panels, and like I've said in the past previous episodes, I totally neglect the fact that it's a pedal car. It needs to actually function and
Hmm.
not just be a sculpture, which there's plenty of, I guess, a sculpture is cool in its own right, but 3-year-old wants to go fast.
Yeah, you're gonna be the 70-year-old with rusting metal shaped sculptures in their front yard with the HOA complaining to them.
Or it was a really old episode of, maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't know how old it was. It was an episode of Jay Leno's Garage when it was on television,
Okay. Old.
not just YouTube. And there's this group of guys, I think they're out in the desert somewhere, and they built fully functioning, perfectly to scale, albeit small, vehicles like 57 Chevys
Hmm.
and Nomads and things like that, but at half scale.
Oh, that's cool.
And they were flawless. Like every detail was perfect. They
Huh.
ran, they drove, everything was perfect. I don't know, the scale may be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But it
Yeah.
was like, I think they're looking back. I wasn't, when I watched that, I wasn't into metal shaping, but looking back, I'm like, I think those are just like a group of old retired guys
Yeah.
knew how to metal shape and fabricate and machine. And let's build a small fleet of scale cars that are
Yeah.
actual. I mean, from a distance, you're like, couldn't tell until you
Make
saw
us
somebody
feel.
stand next to it, and you're like, that's a little car.
What are those giants doing next to the
Yeah.
cars?
Found a small village of giants out in the desert.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah,
Well,
that'll be
cool.
me. Yeah, I'll be some salty old guy.
Yeah.
But,
That's good. All right, man. Well,
all right, you teased
uh,
me with this, and I've got. Go ahead, say it.
all right. All right. So I do a lot of daydreaming, especially when it comes to racing, and something that's always intrigued me, and I think having a conversation about it will help my kind of game plan over the next 5 to 10 years.
Well,
And
the
that's
first step to recovery is admitting that
I have a
you have a
problem.
dream
Oh,
or
I
a
have a
problem.
dream. Oh, my bad. My bad. My bad. So what are we going to talk about? So endurance racing really has me interested, in not like IMSA, you know, big money
Sure.
stuff. Uh, but really what I'm interested in is the Champ Car and the Lemon stuff. And so I've been doing a little bit of research. I listened to Late to Grid podcast. He's a guy out of like the Cleveland area, and he owns a bunch of like auto shops that kind of specialize in track prep, and they do like basics mechanic stuff, but they
Hmm.
specialize also in getting cars ready for race
Yeah.
day. And he owns a handful of vehicles that they endurance race with in the Champ Car series. And dude, I've spent days just thinking about like how could I do this? What would it look like? And the racing piece, I'm gonna race this car on a track one day. It's gonna happen, and it might be fun. It might be terrifying. It might be something I like.
Both.
Uh,
All the above.
all of it. But from the endurance side of the house, watching these amateur guys kind of get together and do the planning and the logistics and the like race mapping, to me, that is so intriguing to get. It's like a full package of motorsports stuff, not just like, hey, I'm going to take my car to the track
Yeah.
and have a weekend. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So yeah, I just like, you could pick up, uh, it's not from a budget point of view, you could go as little as a couple $1,000s
Yeah.
with somebody's kind of lost interest project. Um, I'm simplifying it for sure. Like the expense to get
Sure.
drivers and tires and equipment, all that stuff. But like when I daydream about like what's my place in motorsports, I'm not gonna go comp drive the Camaro in anything.
Hmm.
Like I'm not gonna do something that's gonna kind of risk it crashing
Sure.
against a wheel to wheel thing. Like it's gonna be a
Yeah.
fun track day car.
Yeah.
But what I really want to do is get uh let's just use Miata for just the base car, right? That doesn't have to be a Miata, but like that's just the easiest one, right? And then
Sure.
like, from my point of view, I have no problem being the one financing the car and housing the car, especially when I retire from the Air Force. Like
Hmm.
that isn't the problem, which I know a lot of times people, just people aren't fortunate enough to like own race cars, and that's what
Sure.
stops people from doing the fun stuff.
Yeah.
And so if I can be the person to like own the car, house the car, organize the team, get people together that, you know, are less inclined
Yeah.
to do all that type of stuff, but more inclined to say, hey, I'll grab my race suit and helmet and I'll meet you
Yeah.
there.
So you'd
So that's
have
kind of
you'd
where I'm
set up
at.
what do they call that? Arrive and drive, where you can basically you pay a premium, obviously as the driver, I think how this works. And
Yeah,
you show up and the team's there ready with the car and you hop
sort
in
of,
and
sort of. I'm more so in my mind's eye, I picture like the people I'm friends with now, like you or, my cousin or, some friends I
Mhm.
have in the military. Uh, and like the thing I really love about being in the Air Force is like the organizational management and the team building side of it.
Yeah.
Like all the other stuff I do on a day to day is not, I'm not a huge fan of the like going to war piece. I do not like
Sure.
that.
Yeah.
But bringing together people and building a team, and obviously that
Yeah.
it requires commitment. It requires people to, be committed
Yeah.
to something. Um, but that's what I sit around and daydream for hours and hours and hours.
I've been there too, and I've got a couple questions.
Yeah.
So I've every year I get super motivated to try and rally people around like lemons specific.
Hmm.
It seems like I end up in a relatively, one or two or three guys that are interested in cars, and then they hear about lemons, and everybody gets fired up, and I'm like, let's do it. Like, don't even, same thing. Like, don't even worry about it. Let me put together the car and all that, and then you
Hmm.
guys just front the money for. You're all gonna need your own suits and entry fees and all that stuff.
Hmm.
That's not a small dollar figure, even in the cheapest sense, and that's usually enough to turn people off.
Yeah.
What's turned me off of lemon? So I'll preface this by saying I 1,000% want to do like lemons in particular someday.
Hmm. Yeah.
What turns me off though about it, and maybe I don't know if you're leaning this way too, is that when I read the rules, and maybe I'm interpreting the rules wrong, there's there's motivation or even penalties to have a car that you reuse like year over year. I don't think the intent is that year after year in lemons you bring the same car and keep campaigning the same car.
Yeah, because they're big on, and I'm new to like the ins and outs of the series. I conceptually, this is what I've been thinking about for a while, but like
Yeah,
the rule book, I'm not super in the weeds, so I could be speaking out of my ass. But I know they're real big into like themes. And so like
sure.
if you're coming back with the same theme every year, I don't know if that's
Oh,
something they look.
maybe that's a way of like kind of getting around it is you. Anyway, to me, it looks like a good time. It looks like a motorsports party, and I'm all for it.
Mhm. Yeah.
However, if I'm going to start investing or contributing or being a part of it, I want to know more about Champ Car. Is Champ Car directly competing with Lemons, or is Champ a little bit more? Let's a little bit like racecraft. Like let's actually, this is an actual kind of a race that you could win.
From what I
Albeit very budget minded.
Yeah, from what I gather, it is less gimmicky. I hate to say Lemons. I don't want to go that far to say Lemons is a gimmicky series because I don't think it is per se. Like
Well, I
there aren't
mean,
like there's not like
I
on
don't.
track gimmicks.
So I don't think they would argue. So on, I know just from I follow Lemons. I enjoy their content, and like I said, I'd love to do it.
Yeah,
But at the point where you're like strapping people to the roof as a penalty with a loudspeaker and like reciting some "Thou shall
that's
not,"
yeah,
like
that's fair. That's kind of gimmicky.
I mean,
Yeah,
surely they will self-profess that they are a gimmicky,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
So from what
and
I
albeit, I mean, that's the appeal, right? That's you
Mhm.
get a bunch of motorsports enthusiasts together that probably have to mind their P's and Q's any other time they're around the car. And
Yeah,
now it's a let loose. Of course, anything on track is a serious matter, but
yeah.
they can
So
handle it in fun ways.
I just watched it's like a 30-minute documentary that Champ Car did to just basically show from start to finish what the series is about.
Process.
And it is more serious. I think they do have some rules, some kind of competition type rules that are, I don't want to say gimmicky, but to level the field.
Sure.
It's on a point system, so when your car goes through tech, you max out your points, and then
Yeah.
if you go over the points, then you start so many laps down
You start
at
collecting
this.
penalty
Yeah,
laps. Yeah.
yeah,
I
yep.
think Lemons is similar.
Probably. What I saw in Champ Car though is just like anything, you have the dudes that show up with a car that's barely prepared, and then you've got the dudes that are GLTC grid life type that are
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
basically pros
Yeah.
with a pro type budget,
Yeah.
uh, and anything in between. But to me, it looked more serious, and I like that a little more, especially if I'm going
Yeah.
to be doing it, more
Yeah.
serious. Like, for instance, and this is like not budget friendly, but like they had pit boxes, and they weren't crazy, but it
Oh,
was
sure.
cool.
But
Like,
organized.
yeah, organized.
Yeah.
They had tools and, TV screens with data because they had, some sort of,
Some
Fire
basic,
Labs or
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
basic data
Or,
comp.
even if nothing more than in-car camera, maybe a G
Yeah,
meters and stuff like that. But
yeah, yeah. Uh, and so like all that stuff, man, I love it. But to your point a little bit ago, where you had friends that would kind of get fired up and then it just like peters off.
yeah.
I wonder how much of that would change if you actually had a car rather
Oh,
than
100%.
saying,
It would change
yeah,
a lot. I think so. That's the other thing too, is that I think between you and me, we've actually got people that aren't just like interested in cars. They're probably as obsessed as we are, that it's actually a viable thing.
hmm
Most everybody that I've run into, they're like, "Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, I'd love to do it." It's like, but I'm not going to. I'd love to, but I'm not going to.
yeah, yeah.
I guess one other thing I was thinking of too. Then, like, if we, at what point do you say maybe? So, Champ Car is one thing. I'm not as well versed on that as I have been with Lemons, because every now and then a bunch of people are like, "Oh, let's do Lemons," and never
hmm
works out. Um, versus like just Spec Miata or anything. So I'm gonna go on a little bit of a soapbox here. So same thing. I've always wanted to have a race car. Let's call it Spec Miata
hmm
or Spec 944, something like that,
Yeah.
and actually participate and go to the races. Total transparency. I'm not going to have the kind of time for that for a very long time. It's
Yeah.
just not likely to do like a whole season of anything.
hmm
What caught my attention though was like the 25 hours of Thunder Hill. Have you seen that?
I have. Yeah.
I think it's through NASA. There might be some other, I'm sure they let some other sanctioning body cars in there. There's probably a reciprocity or something.
hmm
But it's like that. I don't know what you need to be able to like qualify for that race. But that's what's always
I
kind
don't
of
know.
interested me about like land speed racing in particular, is
hmm
like I could probably have an easier time justifying the car, the budget, the time in the garage, because it's really only one or two races a year. You basically spend the whole year preparing for kind of your one big go at it. And I wondered if like, well, I wonder if Thunder Hill or 25 hours was the same way.
Yeah.
You
I'm not.
that is a very legitimate race, very legitimate race cars involved. So
hmm
you're not talking champ car budget. You're talking minimum spec Miata or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I kind of view a Champ Car thing the same way with, you know, I think they probably have 6 or 7 events. Um, and they do, I thought it was kind of interesting. They'll do like a 6 plus 7. So they'll do a 6 hour race on Saturday and a 7 hour race on Sunday.
Oh,
Um, but anyway, they have, call it 7 races a year. To me, like, yeah, you pick two, two big tracks. They do like Daytona and they'll do like Road Atlanta,
mhm.
um, you know, something like that. And I think it's like less, I don't know why this intrigues me more than like the sprint races, but not necessarily racing others, but racing the car, racing the environment to like
Surviving. Yeah.
to finish, I
Yeah.
think that's freaking cool.
Oh,
And so
100%.
if you have like 2 races you pick a year and a part of that is like build a car that's reliable,
Yeah.
that challenge. So you're not showing up with something that's going to break a ball joint every 3 hours or something.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
like, uh, I agree. Like the as our friends get older with kids, and that time's going to be pretty precious to be able to like do something like that. So picking 1 or 2 events a year is kind of in my mind what that would look
Well,
like.
so I guess my point to all that was if Champ Car is set up in a way that like you can keep the car and improve it year over year. I think that's what I'm hearing you say is, and that's
I
what appeals to me too. I don't
think so.
I start to lose interest if Lemon says you can't you can't campaign the same car year after year after year after year,
Hmm.
or if Champ says the same thing. That's cool. Someday I'll do that when everybody's prepared for it. But like right now, what I'm hearing you say, and I feel the same way, is I want to invest in something that I can improve upon
Hmm.
year over year and grow with the car. And it would be more of an investment, not just we're going to find a junker, throw all the required safety equipment in it, run it for the 1 or 2 years that they allow you to, and then ditch it. To me, I'm like, that'd be a blast. I want to do it. But right now, I think I'd be more apt to spend the time and the money to see it and us get better and better and better at
Hmm.
whatever it is we're doing. If it's a 6, 12, or 25 hour race.
Yeah. No, I agree. I need to look to see. Uh, I don't think there's any other endurance race series out there besides Champ and Lemons to my very junior knowledge on the sport, other than IMSA,
Yeah, yeah, a
or
big leap there between
WEC,
your
so
car is
yeah.
decorated like a shark and your GT3.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, assuming that Champ Car lets you keep your car, I did see something about like it was a rule about other teams could buy your car, and I don't know what that.
Yeah, so like I said, all I can do is compare it to Lemons because I read those rules,
Yeah.
and it's kind of um, your peer. It's I don't know what the best word to decide it. Your peers are the judges. The competitors. So if you show up, if Lemon says you need a $500 car less what they've
Hmm.
defined as safety equipment, if you show up in a exorbitant car, some car
Yeah.
that's very clearly you've gone a budget, Lemons and or your peers, the other racers, everybody's agreed that a deal can be made at any time for $500.
Ah.
So if you
Okay.
show up in an M3, you better be prepared to sell it to somebody for $500.
I see. Yeah, I need to not prepared to not defend, but I need to see if Champ Car has that same type of rule. Because it is a budget type
Yeah,
event. Like I
yeah,
think your car has, I think I don't want to say 2000. I might be getting that confused with like the $2,000 challenge that
challenge.
they have. Um,
I was going to mention that too.
yeah, I mean, that's another. I don't know if that's an endurance style event or if that's a sprint style race. The $2,000 challenge. I can't remember.
I'm going to mention another race that kind of dovetails with one of your previous events that you said you were going to go on.
Hmm.
So you're very familiar with like Sick Week and
Yeah.
all of
Yeah.
those.
Yep.
One Lap of America.
Dude. So goal for the car is a sick week, drag week, or Rocky Mountain, depending on like where I'm
Mm.
at in the country, I guess,
So you
what would
haven't
make the
written
most sense.
off drag racing.
No. So, I mean, no, in the sense that I'm like, I'll still drag race, but I'm not going to like put big fat slicks and
Sure, sure,
convert it
sure.
back to drag racing.
You're not gonna tub it.
No, but what I want to do is have it so reliable that in 1 year I could do one lap, a drag and drive, an autocross week in the same year.
So
That
you're
would
like
be a challenge.
you're barking up like big red Camaro's tree.
Yeah, but on a budget.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, I mean that's essentially like
Why don't we
I
throw
love.
Pikes Peak? Let's throw Pikes Peak and
Yeah.
Bonneville in there too.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. That's I need to do like a quick release or quick change gear for Bonneville.
We'll talk more. Yeah, Bonneville is one that has got to happen for me at some time. I don't know. I'm so far away from being serious about it and having a car,
Yeah,
but just being physically there at some point soon has got to happen.
I know. Yeah.
But that's an aside and off topic. We got to look more into champ. I guess my answer is I'm 100% on board. I've wanted to do something like that forever. And I could be wrong, but the idea of like, man, it's going to be a lot of work just preparing the car, and for it to be only a 2 year deal, like if we start picking up penalties or something like that because we've had the car for 3 years or something like that,
Yeah.
I don't. You're not far away from sucking the fun out of it in my eyes, and maybe I've got that all wrong. And there's
Yeah.
all kinds of ways around it with like how you decorate it or something like that. And I'm not poo-pooing that either. I see it
Hmm.
looks like a blast.
Yeah.
Lemons, and I haven't done as much looking into Champ Car, which I'll probably do as soon as we get off of here. But
Yeah.
uh,
Well, so let's make an assumption just for the sake of the podcast that you can keep your car indefinitely for Champ Car. So so I'm laying the foundation because I'll be in the Air Force for another 6 years, 7 years. Uh, right now I'm trying to, and this might sound ridiculous, but among friends here, right?
sure, yeah,
Uh, the over the top racing like transition thing I did with my Instagram account and
yeah,
YouTube,
yeah,
that to me is kind of my first step in building a team. And so
yeah.
like I don't have any teammates or team members right now, but like hey, there you go. When I get stickers and hats, you'll be the first on the list.
Yeah.
But
No,
but no, so like over the next half decade as I start looking at like what my life's going to look like post Air
yeah,
Force, I'm trying I, build a brand makes me want to vomit because that's such a kid thing to say, but like
yeah. Say it.
th- I got to build I want to build the brand of the team to
Yeah,
then eventually get a car, you know, like I said, the logistics, the team building, getting people. I think, I don't know how many drivers you can have in Champ Car, but when I watch that video, it was a lot, more than three or four. And so like picking a couple ringers and then the couple of guys
yeah,
that like we're friends with,
yeah,
that, over that takes time. Once I get out of the Air Force and, get the property and have a larger garage, like that's when things will get very serious with stuff like this. But in the meantime, like doing the autocross thing with this car and getting to know more people in the community and the racing community,
yeah.
I'm like deliberately doing that now because ultimately I love to work in the industry.
Sure.
Uh, and and then like a champ car thing is just another thing that kind of keeps you tied into it. So
Yeah.
that's where my mind's at.
Well, like I said, our interests are totally aligned there, and it's the same thing. The missing piece has always been someone else that's just as crazy because it takes more than just a car guy to actually get there. with
Hmm.
any project. I mean, I'm sure you've bumped into all kinds of people that, sure, I'll do it. Yeah, okay. But it's like, well, you know, what are you doing, from 10 to midnight, oh, watching TV and not in the garage, then
Yeah.
maybe not. Maybe we're not the same. I don't know.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's that kind of thing where it's like, I would love to do it, but if I think about like my wildest dreams in the automotive industry have deviated a little bit from that. There was a time when it was like, yeah, I want to either start or be a part of a company that is around endurance racing and all that. It's deviated now to more. It's like I want to build. Now I think about what do I want to do in the auto. Where's my place in the automotive industry? It's I want to build a really cool car, whether it's really fast or really one of a one, something
Hmm.
like that. So in that regard, what my missing link to the racing thing is I need I need somebody else. I need somebody else whose dream it is to have a car and go racing because the spark is still there. I've still got it. I just
Yeah.
need somebody else to say, I've got a car and I just need, somebody willing to wrench all night or drive all night or
Hmm.
fabricate or do something like that, and I will 1000% be there.
Yeah. That's awesome. I do. I have to be realistic in the near term, just because active duty life is, there's just no predictability on some aspects of it,
Sure.
and so that's why like this is all daydreaming stuff, but the daydreams are going to become a little more realistic the closer I get to, you know, hanging up the hat and
Yeah.
not being stuck to the Air Force. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I think we have some rules to look into,
Yeah.
and yeah,
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go dust off. I haven't even NASA. I got to look and see what's out there in NASA and SCCA, and I know those have all grown probably since I last was around that community.
yeah,
I wonder if they've got semi endurance races.
yeah. I mean, I think we're in a pretty. I don't. Maybe it is golden age of racing in terms of accessibility and
Gotta be,
I,
gotta be.
just you put on YouTube and you can literally watch any live stream from around
Yeah.
the country, and it's just the barrier to entry is so low. I don't want to say low. That's probably the wrong thing to say because it's still
Well,
expensive.
yeah, it's still expensive, but it's still accessible. Like if you want to be a part of the community, just go join NASA right now and hop on the forum. There,
Yeah, yeah,
you're
yeah.
part of the community now.
Hmm.
Sure,
Or
now the next step is to get a car or go to an event or something like that. But
like the lizard brain community,
yeah,
that glare
there you go.
sucks there.
Uh,
Yeah. Um, yeah, dude,
I think
it's a good time to be alive.
I guess maybe another. I just maybe a better way of saying what my to remake that point was. I want to look and see like would you want so with that in mind now that I know that this is kind of maybe a puzzle piece to a long-term goal of yours, is it more lemons or would you rather participate in a sanctioning body that could carry you further? NASA, SECA, any of
Uh,
those. Would you rather spend the time building a lemons car, or would you rather spend the time building a car that might grow into one of those sanctioning bodies? You don't have to have the
no,
answer now, but I'm just, those are the things
yeah,
that are popping into my head.
no, it's an interesting point. I don't have the answer to because, like I said, I love the organizational piece, uh, and so I think maybe it is a like underlying desire to be a part of SCCA or be a part of Grid Life, or and
Mm-hmm.
not from a driver point of view necessarily. Like the team aspects,
You
I
want to be a
I
part of a team that,
I like organizing.
yeah,
I like all those things. I like to drive for sure. So I would never close a door. But in reality, like my skills, when you look at like what's transferable, I'm
yeah,
good at the things that I talked about earlier. So uh if I want a place in the motorsports world, I'm not going to get a,
Probably not behind the wheel.
it's probably not behind the wheel, but it
You
probably
didn't start
is.
when you were 3 or 4 or 5? What are
Yeah.
you talking about?
Yeah. But if you need to like organize and, figure out logistics of a team and, set goals and, come up with a plan, a
Yeah,
strategic vision, like I'm your guy. I'll do that shit all day. Um, and so yeah, that maybe that is, I'm gonna put more thought to that question, but not necessarily like I need to have my team from start to finish, but like if a Champ Car team could open a door to be a part of something bigger, you know,
sure.
down the road.
And maybe they overlap. For all I know,
Yeah.
I'm a champ car dummy. Never looked into it. Maybe they overlap. Maybe you could have an old spec Miata or something that champ car that they overlap.
Yeah.
I don't
It
know.
could. Could.
We got some homework to do.
We do. We do. Well, man, I think we'll cut it here just based on time. I will
Sure.
say, as we close this episode 10 out, we might get maybe one more before I move. But I am on Central Time, so this old guy we can start our podcast at 8 o'clock on my time, 9 o'clock your time, and then I can have we can have more time to
Oh, you're
record.
going to Central. Okay. Yeah, you're in
Yeah,
Eastern
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I was like, I thought we
Not
were in the same time zone.
Yeah, we are now, not
Okay.
here in a little bit, which I think is going to benefit us in terms of scheduling
Yeah.
all this
I'm
stuff.
a night owl. This is what time is it? There's plenty of nights where I'm just getting out into the garage to work.
Yeah.
And I work from like 10:30 to midnight.
So there's been times where I've woken up at 3 in the morning, put on work clothes to come out here, work on the car, then go to work. So I'm like
See,
polar opposites.
you're my kind of people.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Dedication. So
That's
cool.
what
Well,
there's no excuse.
yeah. Yeah. All
Cool.
right. Well, man, this was fun talking about endurance racing. I'm sure we'll hit this topic in some
Yeah.
variety in the future. But until then, thanks for listening, everybody, and see you next time.
So you